Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt
And
Rose.
I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
This is our preview for Pluribus Season 1, Episode 4. This episode is coming to Apple TV next week, and it feels like we're really going to get into a character who has been teased over a couple of episodes, and this is Manousos.
Yeah, I mean, we heard his voice in this last episode telling Carol off. So it's going to be interesting to actually see him come around a little bit more because he seems to be the only other person out of the 13 that is very much resisting what is going on with this collective. He just wants no part of it.
Yeah, and that's a really interesting thing for this show to explore. One of the big questions and possible concerns that I've had through these first three episodes is that, yeah, Pluribus is very entertaining,
Yep.
but it can't just be watching Carol and at times Zosha. She needs another foil, and obviously what's going to make this one particularly funny is that this is a foil who doesn't really speak English, so communication is not going to be easy.
And it's interesting too because they're both on the same side, seemingly. Neither of them want to become part of the collective.
Well, we're going to talk in this video about everything we know about Manousos so far, but also the details that Apple TV has shared and the synopsis for episode
Yes.
4, just as a better means of setting the stage.
Yeah.
Before we get into any of it, though, be sure to hit that subscribe button because we will be here every week with Pluribus reviews, theories, previews, so much good stuff with what is a very good show.
Absolutely. Also, Fallout Season 2 is going to be coming very, very soon. So hit that subscribe button, stick with us. We're going to be covering that here as well. We're big fans of the game, big fans of the show.
All right. Well, first and foremost, let's just look at who is Manousos exactly.
Yeah.
So we know that he is in Asuncion, Paraguay. Apologies for my pronunciation. It's been a long time since I was in Spanish class, but he works at some sort of storage facility, as it was mentioned in episode 3. He is someone who the collective, the joined, they had a very hard time tracking this guy down, it seems like.
Yeah, he seems to be the last that they figured out who is resisting.
Yeah, and I think there's just a big question inherently there of, okay, why did it take them so long to find him? Because we hear about, okay, you're in storage. And to me, isn't that a job where you're running into people on a fairly regular basis? Did he see them acting a certain way and just start parroting them? We don't really know fully how they're able to detect things other than just like, okay, our mind is not directly seemingly communicating with him. This is a problem.
Yeah. Or maybe because he's working in storage, if it's just sort of like these storage units, then you're not really seeing people. People rent their box, they get their key, they're going to their storage units, and you don't really see them unless they're like, okay, I'm canceling my storage unit. All right, leave the key.
I am kind of curious as to how much are these people an actual concern for the joint, because they have said to Carol, okay, we'll let you communicate with him. It's no problem. Is that really them just saying we need to let her think that this is all okay, even though it's really not? Or are they just so unbelievably confident that, okay, even these people together, it's not going to accomplish anything, mostly just because we already have the wheels turning? Like, you talked a lot in the review about how they may already be trying to do things to control Carol.
Yeah, absolutely. They have said that they are working behind the scenes day and night. They have the entire population minus these 13 people working day and night, trying to find a way to bring the 13 over and to find out why they aren't able to turn. So, I mean, for them, they probably just don't feel like it's any concern. I mean, Zosha was like, yeah, might be a couple weeks before we figure it out, might be a couple months, but it's coming.
All right, so here is what we know thanks to the synopsis for episode 4. And it begins with Carol tests the boundaries of this weirdly honest world at the expense of her own ego. Now, my question that comes along with this is is she humiliating herself? Like, what is she doing? Is she saying, "Oh, I want to have a clown costume and I want to go in front of Sprouts and juggle. Can you make that happen for me?"
Yeah, it sounds like it is going to be at her own expense. So I mean, she's got to be doing something to herself and not to other people, which makes me happy to hear. And this is a
Yes.
show that's all about happiness. I don't really want to see her using people in the collective like we've seen.
What I wonder is, okay, if this is at the expense of her own ego, Carol's not doing anything for the sake of just doing it. She's already shown, all right, I'm very resistant to these people. I don't want them around. Is she going to try to make some sort of spectacle thinking, okay, if I get a lot of their attention, if I get a lot of these people in one place where they're forced to
Mhm.
pay attention to me, even if it's something as simple as I'm putting a fishbowl on my head and I'm yodeling, like, am I going to be able to get through to them? Is that going to be a way to kind of break that control a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it could be as something as simple as when you're looking at your friend, you're like, "How do I look in this dress?" And they're just like, "Oh, you look great," because they're not a real friend, and your real friends would tell you, "Take it off, go put on something else." And here, it may be something as simple as that, where it's like, "Oh, how do I look in this dress?" Honesty. Do they look good? Do they not look good? What is it they want to hear? Or is it just yes, yes, yes?
There's going to be a part of Pluribus that I feel like is trial and error, where you're somebody like Carol, you want to understand how do these strange powers work? What can I get away with? What can't I get away with? But we're
Mhm.
adding that to the element that this is a Vince Gilligan show that
Yes.
already has a season two. It feels like he's willing to go further than that. I'm sure it's isn't like a 20 season plan, but I think every episode we see, there's going to be a deliberate clue. There's going to be something that kind of signals to us, okay, this is why this matters. And this is why this request is startling or intriguing this collective in some way. Like, we're going to get some little breadcrumb as to maybe how to break this.
I'm actually really excited that they are diving into the honesty of the collective this early on in the series, because that's always been my greatest thing with with all of it, where it's just like, are they really being honest?
Yeah.
They're telling you they have to be honest, but that doesn't mean that they're being honest. And as we talked about in the review, I think they're not being honest. I think that those band-aids that Carol has on, that they're taking DNA samples, whatever, they're taking something from her
Mhm.
and not telling her the truth. I think that maybe this honesty is, if you ask us something, we'll tell you the truth. But if you don't ask, we're not going to let you know what we're doing under those band aids, sort of thing. So it's good to see that she's going to be testing that honesty and see where it really is.
You know what that reminded me of? As many of you may know, we covered the blacklist for many, many years. And one of the things Raymond Reddington would do, he would tell Liz Keene, I'm not going to lie to you. And instead, he would do a samba, a tango, all the way around the truth. He would
Yeah,
find a way
he
to say
would.
something. And I think that might be weirdly analogous to what we see on Pluribus,
Mhm.
where, yeah, going out of your way to helping people, that's a virtuous act, but it's not actually the same as saying, okay, we're going to sit down with you now, Carol, and explain every single step of how we got here, what we have perhaps done to other worlds, if we are aliens, what is our end goal beyond the quote unquote biological imperative.
Yeah.
Now, the other part of this synopsis indicates, okay, far away, a resolute individual learns he's not alone. So Manousos' name is not actually said in the synopsis, but if we just look at the context clues here, this is somebody who we have not met yet. We know he's in Paraguay. That's really, really far away. I think the question then is, are we going to see him and Carol link up in this episode, or is this just going to be an isolated story and then they're going to set things up down the road?
I would like it to be an isolated story where we get to know him a little bit as well before we get him to meet Carol. I think that that'd be kind of an interesting way of going about it, instead of just seeing everything through Carol's eyes.
Yeah, I think a reality that all TV shows need to remember, not everything needs to be rushed. We're in this era of 6 episode seasons. Your show has to end after season 2 or season 3. Your
Yeah.
critics are going to start hating it. I want Pluribus to take its time. Like, are there flaws in the first 3 episodes? Sure, the pilot dragged a little bit, but at the same time, I'm really enjoying it. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying getting answers. And I think just for now, experiencing it through a different character's eyes who may be similar and yet different from Carol, that would show further, all right, they might get together with the same understanding of we want to do something to save the world, but that doesn't mean that their personalities are going to make it that they're BFFs just strolling down the street together.
Yeah, like both of them are resisting being part of this collective, but it might be for different reasons. Like, yes, both of them may be like, okay, we want to keep our individuality, but it also seems like Carol wants other people to have their rights back, and he may not care about that. He may just be like, I want what I want for myself, and if this is going to happen for everybody else, fine. You guys all want to do this, you can do this, but not me.
And that is where we are heading into Pluribus Season 1, Episode 4. We are unbelievably excited. We're going to have
Yes.
so much more discussion on this show.
Mhm.
So be sure to hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 100,000 subscribers
Crazy.
here at the channel. We really appreciate your support,
Yes.
and we will see you here next time.